Let's go stateside now to New York, where Governor Kathy Hochul could decide the fate of New York City Mayor Eric Adams. This is a mess. Hochul is meeting with key leaders today to talk about what she calls a path forward after 4 top officials in Mr. Adams' administration walked. They resigned. This is the latest fallout from the Justice Department move to drop corruption charges against Mr. Adams. CBS News Department of Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joining us live. Scott, we're also seeing federal prosecutors step down over this. They mean business. They are literally putting a foot in the door with the minutia of this story. We understand now it's up to a judge to decide whether to dismiss the case. How could this play out?
You just characterized it as a mess, which is, I think, at this point, an understatement now. This has become a particularly nettlesome problem for this judge to try to unwind. The Department of Justice, in this unprecedented effort, is trying to drop the corruption case against Eric Adams. And part of their argument is that it's because the president wants Eric Adams' help in New York City to affect border security policies the president's putting forward. That is not the reason traditionally given for dropping a criminal case. Usually it has to do with the facts of the case shifting or some point of law. This is a pure political motive. And the judge has to figure out what to do about this, because judges don't face this question before. Should we drop a case or let a case go because the president could politically benefit from it happening? The judge in this case will have hearings at 2 p.m. on the East Coast tomorrow. The prosecution, the Department of Justice, will make its argument. It's quite possible representatives for Eric Adams will make an argument, but there's also this variable. As we watch the hearing unfold tomorrow, will a third party be heard? Will some representative of the people, there have been some private attorneys who've tried to file in this case, will they say the case should go forward because the facts haven't changed?
And all the while, you have a judge who no doubt is quite keen to the fact that if the ruling goes in a way that the president and his team do not like, there will be considerable blowback. There's also word of another resignation at the DOJ making headlines. Scott, the head of the Justice Department's Washington, D.C. Criminal Division, she says she's leaving the job. What do we know about that?
Yeah, her name is Denise Chung. Not a household name, not a household position. She is the head of the criminal prosecutions for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C. That sounds bureaucratic, but let me pledge to you, when you run criminal prosecutions in the nation's capital for the federal government, you deal with the big things. Terror cases, corruption cases, the things that are so weight-bearing, they're filed in the nation's capital. She is part of this broader set of resignations and retirements from top officials in the U.S. Justice Department ever since Inauguration Day. It's not a matter of if there's going to be a purge of the Department of Justice. At this point now, Reed, it's a matter of how large a purge there's going to be. How many people are going to walk away from what they don't view as acceptable. Her resignation, Denise Chung's, comes a day after the president announced he was going to nominate Ed Martin to be the U.S. attorney here in Washington, D.C., to be her boss. Ed the Eagle Martin, as he's nicknamed, was a Stop the Steal advocate election denier who defended January 6 defendants and was put in place shortly after the inauguration and expedited the dropping of all those Capitol riot cases, viewed as a particularly ardent loyalist to MAGA. Him being in charge of prosecutions in Washington, D.C. may not sit well with a lot of the long-time tenured members of that office.
Wow. Scott, we're also following a hearing today in Washington, D.C. over President Trump's order to ban transgender service members from the military. Many members of the military, in fact, friends of mine, want to know how this could play out. What do you know so far?
Yeah, this lawsuit brought by some of the impacted members of the service. They have asked the judge here, a Biden-appointed judge named Anna Reyes, for a preliminary injunction. That means hold off on this new policy involving transgender members of the military. We're waiting for a ruling from the judge whether she does in fact order a preliminary injunction is part of what they're having a hearing about today. But that's just a short-term remedy to a longer-term issue here. The administration is going to try to plow ahead with this new policy no matter if a temporary pause is issued or not. So we're looking at an early battle in a war that the Trump administration is very focused on winning.
Scott MacFarlane, thank you so much. It's almost like a master's degree a month from you. We appreciate it. Live from Washington, D.C.
Thank you.